o la clase. Today we're going to do something called reflexive verbs. Verbos reflexivos in Spanish. You've done this already. It's just that you don't know you did it. You did this in 7th grade, and I'll show you in a few slides how you did it in 7th grade. Take a look at these two pictures. Here's a picture of Federico. On the left, Federico is washing the car. On the right, Federico is washing himself. Take a look. Federico lava el carro. We're conjugating the verb lavar to agree with our subject, Federico, because Federico is the one who is doing the action of washing. What is he washing? The car. Okay. Take a look at the right-hand side. Federico is now washing himself. Federico se lava. We're still conjugating the verb lavar to agree with the subject, but take a look at this. That se. That se shows that Federico is doing the action to himself. Federico se lava. Let's take a look at another example. Here's a picture of you brushing your dog. Tú cepillas el perro. We're conjugating the verb, the action, cepillar, to agree with the subject, tú. You are brushing. What are you brushing? The dog. The right-hand side, you're brushing your own hair. Tú te cepillas. Conjugating the verb, cepillar, to agree with the subject, tú. But take a look at this pronoun, te. That te means that you're doing this action of brushing to yourself. Let's take a look at one more example. I want to say, I am looking at my friend. Miro a mi amigo. Conjugate my verb to agree with the subject, yo. Who am I looking at? My friend. Versus this picture on the right, I'm looking at myself. You're conjugating the verb mirar to agree with the subject, yo. But take a look at the me. Me just means that I am doing the action to myself. Me miro en el espejo. I look at myself in the mirror. So in all three examples, Federico se lava, tú te cepillas, yo me miro, the subject is doing the action to themselves. Federico washes himself. You brush your own hair. I look at myself in the mirror. So that is, in a nutshell, is what a reflexive verb is. A reflexive verb is a verb that shows the subject doing the action to themselves. Okay, that was important, so I'm going to say it again. A reflexive verb is a verb that shows that the subject is doing the action to themselves. Now, I told you that you've already done this. You did this in 7th grade. Take a look at that verb llamarse. You learned this in 7th grade to say, my name is Mary. Me llamo Mary. Well, this verb llamarse doesn't really mean my name is. It means to call oneself. So in Spanish, when we say me llamo Mary, it really means I call myself Mary. So to conjugate a verb, this is what you're going to start with. This is what a reflexive verb infinitive looks like. It's a regular infinitive, but they just attach this word se here. So to conjugate a reflexive verb, the first thing we're going to do is address that se. So in the yo form, if you want to say that you call yourself, or I call myself Mary, you're going to have to change this se, and it's going to now change to me. Me means myself. So we've addressed the se already, and we're left with the plain old infinitive llamar. So now we're just going to conjugate the verb llamar as always. It's an AR verb, so you're taking that AR off and adding the appropriate ending for the yo form, llamo, me llamo. Let's do another one. Again, let's address this se right over here. So we're going to do the to form. Te means yourself. Left with the plain old llamar, conjugate llamar in the to form, llamas, te llamas, you call yourself. You call yourself John, te llamas John. The el used form, we're going to address the pronoun, this pronoun over here, the reflexive pronoun. to say himself, herself, or yourself. It's going to be all three. Usted, yourself. We're going to use the pronoun se. Se llama. Él se llama Juan. Ella se llama María. Usted se llama Señor Smith. The nosotros form, address the pronoun, changes to nos, ourselves. Llamamos. We call ourselves students. Nos llamamos estudiantes. The last one, se. Se llaman. Ellos se llaman los pirates. They call themselves the pirates. Ustedes se llaman profesores. You call yourselves teachers. That's the ustedes form. And notice the se. The se is used a lot. It's used in the infinitive form to call oneself. It's used as the pronoun himself, herself, yourself, themselves, or yourselves. So we get a lot of mileage out of that pronoun se. Okay? So that's just how you conjugate the verb. Now, we don't go around in life just conjugating verbs. So we use them. We use them in sentences. So let's take a look at how we use them in sentences. So let's take a look at looking at myself. Look at the first sentence. Me miro en el espejo. It's one verb in a sentence. We're going to conjugate the verb. We use the pronoun me because it's myself. We conjugated the verb miro in the yo form. Notice that we put the pronoun me before the conjugated verb. Check that out right there. There's our conjugated verb. And here is the pronoun. Take a look at this sentence, though, the second example, when you have the two verbs in a row, two verbs go a walk, and the first one does the talking. I am going to look at myself in the mirror. We left this verb mirar in the infinitive, irá plus infinitive. Notice I attached that pronoun right to the infinitive. Voy a mirarme en el espejo. Now, we Americans like to do it this way because it's so closely related to English. It's a direct translation, actually. I am going to look at myself in the mirror. Okay. And the last example, when we're using the present progressive tense. The present progressive tense is using the helping verb estar and then the gerund, that ando yendo form. When we do that, we're going to again attach the pronoun me right to the end of the gerund or past participle. Estoy mirándome en el espejo. Just one other thing. Look at the mirándome. Do you notice that accent mark right there? When we are adding the pronoun, we also have to add an accent mark. So we're going to add the accent mark over the a in mirando. If you're using an IE, ER, or IR verb, let's say vistiendo, vestirse, you are dressing yourself. Estás vistiéndote. You're going to add that accent mark over the letter E, the Spanish E, yendo, the English E. Okay? And that is the reflexive verb in a pronoun. In a nutshell, you have your pronouns. The pronouns go before the conjugated verb. You attach it to the infinitive, or you can attach it to the gerund. So continue now with your notes, your examples, write out your reflections, and I'll see you next class and we'll talk about this.